impacted harder the game.
Well, the thing, they couldn't get any stops. Yeah, he was hitting threes, but they were coming back and getting twos. And Skip, I knew last night is that when who was that? I think Paul George got caught up in the air, and he bounced the ball off the shoulder of Zubac, and it goes to Terrence Mann for a dunk.
You can argue it was their night, but where it's their night, they're a very good three-point shooting team because they've led the league a couple of times. And the Lakers are a terrible three-point shooting team. Well, what if I told you going in yesterday that the Lakers would shoot 40% from three? You'd say, we got this, right? Because 16 of 40 is nothing to sneeze at, most of that from LeBron, but 16 of 40? Unfortunately, the other team hit 19 of 38. Well, it's hard to beat that.
Well, when you make 15 in the first half, Skip.
Okay, it's just hard. And even the final score, it's +3 from three. Well, guess what? That's 3 times 3. That's 9 points just from that right there. And then look at the rebounds. Help me out here.
You're minus 15.
I'm seeing 47 to 32 in favor of the Clippers. It's hard to overcome that. Last night, the Lakers actually played, to me, overall, their best game of the year all around on offense, thanks to LeBron. But look at the turnovers. They only turned it over 6 times
they've
last
done
night.
a great job of taking care of basketball.
They've cleaned up their act.
Yes.
Because I'm looking here, and I'm like, wait a second. LeBron had 0 turnovers because his usage rate, I forgot to check it. I'll check it a little later. But it had to be like 60, 70% of the night. But he never turned it over. That'll work, right? And how about Russell Westbrook? He turned it over only 2 times. For him, that's shockingly great.
They only had 6 turnovers as a team.
Okay, 6 turnovers. That'll work. Because Russ usually has 6 turnovers in the second quarter, right?
Or at least by himself.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so in the big picture, I picked the Clippers to win it all because of that kind of game last night.
Right.
But you keep asking me the question, are they going to be healthy? I don't know.
Right.
But when they are really good. Yeah. I think they're the best team in the West. You can argue Denver. Yoke had another good game last night, albeit against no Zion and no BI, as Jen will attest. But again, do I think the Clippers are better than Denver? I do, just because of the depth.
Skip, we talked about this. I mean, think about what it took. It took a 48-8, 48-9 performance just to beat the Rockets. It's taking 47-10 and 9 to beat the Hawks. It's taking 43 whatever to beat the Hornets. Just think if LeBron didn't go bonkers. This is a 40-point loss. If LeBron James doesn't do what he did, Skip, he had 28 in the second half, 13 in the third, 15 in the fourth. And they still lost by 18.
Okay, but I will give him this. 11 games since he turned 38 years of age on December 30th.
It's ridiculous.
11 games, he's 36 a game, 10 rebounds a game, 8 assists. I can't make that up. That's like Hollywood numbers, where only in Hollywood could you do that. But he's actually doing it on the basketball court, right? 38, 10, and 8. He's 53% from the floor. He's now cranked it up to 33%.
You saw that. I told you. I told you just a matter of time.
Okay, that's for the year. So I'm sorry. That's for the stretch. For the year, he's up to 30.7%. So he creeped back up. He still ranks 149 of 151 qualified because he passed Russ last night. Finally, he edged past Russ.
Oh, the Spurs, we're going to drop another performance like that on the Spurs
you
tonight.
Should, because you're 6.5-point favorites.
No, I'm talking about from the 3. I ain't talking about from the 3.
I thought you meant to win the game. I hope you win the game.
We're going to win the game.
All right. Okay, so speaking of, and by the way, they're 7-4 since his birthday. So
not bad.
It's decent.
But they had a couple of, they should be better because they lost a couple that they should have won.
I got it. And you can argue the other way also, that they stole one against Memphis. I still don't know how they did that. All right, so what happened last night? This was curious to me because I thought Darvin Ham folded his tent a little prematurely.
I did too.
Okay, so let's see what happened down the stretch, because with 6:46 left, if we could see this shot, LeBron made what ended up being his final of his 9 threes, but there's 6:46 left in the game. Right. And guess what this cut it to? It cut it to 10 points. It was 113 to 103. There, he just stood up on Zoo and said, "You're going to give me this? Okay, thank you. I'll shoot a free throw here." He shot that like it was a free throw and ripped it clean. And all of a sudden, I'm looking up and saying, wait a second, this is a 10-point game.
Nah, I thought we were going to make a move.
Okay, what did they do against Portland? They just roared back, and they kept roaring all the way home until they just dominated at the end of the game.
Right.
Do you remember the game at Philadelphia? Can I remind you of that one? Do you remember it was back on December 9th? They were down 16 with 4 minutes left. This is at Philly with AD, but down 16 with 4 minutes left. They were down 9 with 35 seconds left in the game, and AD winds up at the free throw line shooting to win the game.
Yep.
Help me out. Like I just gave you 2. That's against the team I picked to win the East, okay? Was that not sensational?
Yeah.
Do they not have that sort of comeback gene in them? Haven't they flashed it again and again and again? Okay, so now it's a 13-point game, and then what happens next? Paul George missed a 3. They got the offensive rebound, and Reggie Jackson missed a 3. And I'm just thinking, uh-oh, they've gone cold. Here come the Lakers. And with 6 minutes left, LeBron drives it, and this could have been a foul. You could have called this if we could see it, but he can't get it to fall. This is to cut it to 8 right here with 6 minutes left. Cut it to 8.
That's a foul.
Okay, he gets banged and hammered, and I thought they would call it just on the momentum of the crowd. You could certainly call it. Remember, it's a Laker home game. Yeah. The Laker crowd is going purple and going crazy. They are raising the roof because it feels like the Clippers are in dire straits at this point. Okay, so then after that miss, now we've got the Kawhi steal. He had 2 steals down the stretch. This one's kind of ugly, but he gets a sort of a layup and one, if we could see
this one from Schroeder,
Okay, he steals it, and he steals it, and he steals it, and then he really stole it twice.
Bounce it, Schroeder.
Yeah, okay. And there it goes, okay? And then they foul him from behind, and he makes the free throw, and all of a sudden, that bumps it back up to 13 right there, okay? Then with 5:43 left, we got that play, 5:43 left, LeBron has a chance to cut it back to 10 again, and that's his final 3-point attempt, and he left it short. Okay, I got to believe at that point he's running low on gas, right?
Well, you know, Skip, he didn't play but 33 minutes.
Okay.
So, and I think the reason why D-Ham cut it short, Skip, he's like, we got a back-to-back.
Okay. So Reggie Jackson, then he goes down and drains a rainbow 3.
Yeah.
And then Kawhi steals another one and just dunks it. And now it goes back to 18. But with 5:07 left, it's still a lot of time for this team.
Yeah.
5:07 left.
I thought he cut it short, too.
Darvin Ham said...
At least 3.
Darvin Ham said, I'm done. I give up.
Right.
They have a game tonight, back-to-back, and so I guess he's looking to, I want to make sure we can beat the Spurs. I need LeBron to play. He's been playing back-to-back.
Well, AD is going to play. AD's coming.
Okay, I know. This is supposed to be his return. That's reported. I don't know if we can trust that, but I'm going to assume he will play.
Trust it.
Okay, on minutes
playing.
Restriction, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 6.5-point favorite over the Spurs, who have the second worst record in the West. You should win this game, but again, man, I'm thinking with 5:07 left, even 18 for this team, I'm not writing them off.
I would have let him ride another 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I'd let him ride another 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get a couple of baskets, get a couple of defensive stops, see if we can cut it back down to 10 again.
Yeah.
Because I'll skip it with the 3-pointer. You're not because that's why you see these teams coming back. That's why the Lakers were able to come back from 25 down at the half. You see these teams, they'd be down 15, 17 points at the start of the fourth quarter and come back because of that 3-ball.
Okay.
You miss a couple of shots and they hit a couple of threes.
All right, I got it. Speaking of Schroeder, he has become a closer for them, and I know he had a quiet night of 3 for 9, but this was Schroeder time to me. This is when all of a sudden, against Memphis, he just takes over the game.
Right.
What if he'd come down and made a couple of threes and stolen a couple of balls?
Yeah, he didn't have the 3-ball going.
Okay.
Pat Bev definitely did. But I think that Skip, here's the thing. When you play those 3 guards, that's what then you're going to get out rebounded by 15. You got you got Pat Bev, you got Schroeder, and you got Troy Brown, who's a big guard, but he's really a guard.
Yep.
They're playing him at the small forward, playing LeBron at the power.
Yep.
But he's really a guard. So you're going to get crushed. And so now you got Pat Bev trying to do something with Kawhi. Come on.
He just can't.
He can't. He's just too small.
Kawhi is a man's man.
Right.
On the basketball court, he plays strong. He's not as strong as LeBron playing bully ball.
No.
But he can bounce you off for those little 8-foot jumpers.
Right.
And Pat Bev's got no chance.
And then you got, and who are you going to push? I mean, Paul George got it going last night. I mean, he's silky smooth. That shot starts to fall in. He hit a tough one as the shot clock was running down on Schroeder, Skip.
He did. But that's like, you're too small.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. He's looking at it like, bro, come on now. You know you can.
Seriously? They both had 9 rebounds each, Kawhi and Paul George, and that's where you got hurt on the backboards.
Yes.
You just can't contend with it.
Because, Skip, come on. You're asking Schroeder. Schroeder had what? Had 2 rebounds. Pat Bev had 2 rebounds. Come on, man. I mean, they got 18 between Kawhi and PG, and then you get Zubas didn't have a big game. I mean, Mars didn't really play a whole lot.
He got hurt, actually, but go ahead.
But
Yep.
Look,
Okay.
Give the Clippers credit.
Big picture. We're going to talk about this in depth in a few minutes here on the show, but Pat Riley said in an ESPN interview that, hey, with AD back, he gives LeBron and company a real shot to win it all this year.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. I think it starts tonight. Can they take shape as a contending basketball team?
This road trip's going to tell you a lot because they're on the road for the
What
next
are
one.
they now? 22 and 26.
Well, they
22
probably need to. I think they come back home next Tuesday against OKC. Skip.
Yep.
They need to be at least no worse than one game under 500. They need to win tonight. I think they got Boston. I think they got New York.
Yeah.
I forget who else they got. But Skip, they need to go. They need to probably go 3-1, maybe 4-0 on this road trip. And then
OKC is no joke.
No, they're not. And then because you come home to OKC, and then you got Milwaukee that Thursday.
Oof. Okay. Now we find out.
But you already find out what you
just
already
gave
knew.
you.
What old GOAT is.
Yeah.
Go do it. Average at 30.
Goat's team is 22 and 26.
But is he playing? But no.
He's playing like ridiculously great.
Okay.
Ridiculously. I've never seen anything like it before, and they're 22 and 26. Congratulations.
Just imagine if he wasn't playing out his mind. They might not have won but 2 games.
Yeah. I love Diet Mountain Dew. It's the breakfast champion.
I would
The
get it back.
nectar of the gods.
I would get it back. I get it
You
back.
always say that.
I would get it back.
Yeah.
You say how you gloating over there?
I am.
You say how you gloating? But see,
I got Kawhi and you got LeBron.
But let me ask you, on Monday, was I gloating when the Cowboys lost? I wasn't gloating.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
You
let
tried, but I was hurting so bad.
you like, go ahead and get a little, pour it on.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I know you hurting right now. I'm not the type of guy that was somebody hurting, I try to hurt him more.
The theme song of this show is No Mercy.
Oh, I already know. If that had the shoe been on the other foot,
Yeah.
I already know how you would have been. You'd have been totally insufferable. I already know. See?
No, I go easy.
I think
No,
we
you
were
don't.
all
No, you
a little worried about Skip's mental state on Monday.
Yeah,
I'm glad
you
that
should
shows
still